Greetings, loves. Welcome to another edition of Soul Alchemy. This is Akasha, bringing you the alchemy for your mind, your body, and your soul. Guys, go ahead, click that like button, share this video out, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and make sure you click that notification bell. Now, let's get into Dana White's UFC conference where he addressed things again concerning him and his wife, right? And let me tell you what I think that this entire speech he did was badass, okay? And then, I'm going to, counter some things that I'm seeing from some other commentators, right? Now, let's go.
What's up, gang? How are you? Happy New Year. So I just wanted to come out today and talk to you guys on this media day with the athletes that, the focus is on them. These guys have trained hard and got ready for this fight. What happened on New Year's Eve is my mistake, not theirs. And obviously, nobody's more about free speech than me. If one of the fighters wants to come out and voice their opinion on it and whatever it might be, then by all means, I'm sure
okay,
you guys.
Now, you hear him. He is saying that he does not in any way prohibit any of his fighters from coming out and speaking their mind. But, hey, a lot of people seem to speculate that they are afraid to. Or they could just be choosing not to, because whatever they say, this is the internet, right? There are how many people on this earth? There's going to be plenty of people that's going to find a way to disagree. And it could very well affect. And matter of fact, we know that it's likely to affect their careers and their livelihoods, no matter which position that they take. That's this man's marriage. So why not just let him handle? He's a grown man. He's doing a good job. He's handling his business. He's speaking for himself. So why do you guys demand that other fighters speak about it? It's enough of us speaking about it, right? I think we're speaking about it enough. Let me also point out the product placement of Voss water and Monster. Okay, Voss is turned around, but we know what that is, right? We know what kind of water that is. And Monster. Now, I remember Master P when he was talking about his son and that incident. He had a box of his cereal on the stairs. Well, that's something that, it's not a big top brand, right? It's something that he's putting out. And people pointed out how corny that was. Now, I have not seen one person say anything, especially negatively, about this product placement. You know why? Because that is just what it is. That is just part of the contracts that they have to do advertisement. And how many views is this going to get? So nobody's going to say, well, look at Monster and Voss. And why is he advertising? Because people already know what's going on. I'm going to elaborate on why I pointed that out here in a second, but let's let Dana go.
Seeing the TMZ video and seeing my interview, it was obviously a horrible personal experience. And, there's no excuses for it. Something that I'm going to have to deal with and live with for the rest of my life. And one thing that I do want to clarify in this thing that I didn't talk about on TMZ because I didn't expect it and I didn't see it coming is the people that are defending me. There's never an excuse. I'm sure you guys have read some of the same stuff that I've seen. There's no defense for this, and people should not be defending me.
Now that is to be respected. I completely respect that, and I just think it's corny for anybody. Actually, it's irresponsible, in my opinion, for anyone to overlook the fact that he is stressing this. Okay, this man is saying that he does not in no way, shape, or form condone what he did, and nobody should be defending him. Okay? But I will say that from my perspective, because I can say that speaking about myself, and from what I've heard and seen of people who are stressing something, that I don't think the majority of the people who are not outright just bashing and condemning him are taking up for him. I think people are expressing their views, opinions, and perceptions on the situation. Because I know I am. And that's why I'm speaking on this, because of the situation and the way I see the public dealing with it, responding to it. Okay? And I think it's important for those of us who aren't jumping all over Dana in this situation to speak up. And might I add, for the men, okay, who have been in abusive relationships, okay, for the men who have had women violently attack them, and to have to wear that and be told, do not touch her, okay, I'm not saying I'm against them being told that, but, and if they do, they are damned to hell while she gets little to no judgments about what she did, or even punishments. Still, people are concerned about what's going to happen to Dana. What's his punishment? But the aggressor, the initial aggressor in this situation was his wife. I have seen so many men in the comment section that are still like, well, are we going to keep doing this? Nobody's going to say anything about Dana's wife actually hitting him first. Like, this is where we are in society and have been for a while, but this is where we are, and it's pretty doggone sad that at the end of the day, you guys are putting most of the focus, if not all, on Dana and his response because the two go together, without addressing what his wife did and talking about how wrong that was.
This thing, no matter what. All the criticism that I have received this week is 100% warranted and will receive in the future. So, and you know me better than anybody. If, especially the people that I don't like start coming after me, nobody fires back more than I do. Whatever anybody has to say, everybody has an opinion on this, and they're right to have their own opinions. I was very opinionated on this too, and I still am. It's crazy that I'm sitting here even having this conversation with you guys, but yeah. So my reason for being here today is I just wanted you guys to focus on them and not me. Any questions?
I was going to ask if you're taking questions.
Now, when he says them, I think he's talking about the actual fighters. Guys, this is the UFC. And let me point out something for people who are a part of or interested in, fans of, get excited about other sports. The MMA, UFC. Listen, this community is a little different. Okay. It's a little different. So, yeah, I don't think you're going to be seeing a bunch of people, literally in the community, coming for Dana, all right? I just don't.
I guess the big question that everybody wants to know, like you said, no excuses, full apologies, and I like your statement there that it shouldn't be defended at all, but are there going to be any repercussions? People are saying, he's a big public figure, he's big, charged this big company, nobody's really talking about it. Are there any repercussions planned from the company or self? Okay,
before he answers this, because he's going to give a badass answer, and I was quite impressed with it. Listen, I'm not too much concerned with how you guys are responding to this, where this is coming from, how you feel about this man personally. I am just responding on the situation. Because again, I already said he's not a favorite character of mine, right? Although I respect the sport, I respect his position in it. Okay. But as far as personal, if I was going off personal and I chose to allow myself to be unfair, I would be dogging him like everybody else. Okay? But this is not about how I personally feel about this guy. I'm just judging the situation at the end of the day. And again, this whole thing right here was boss in my opinion. But but there are a lot of people hooting and hollering about what is his punishment. Now, I think some of that is a lot of people don't like this guy and they want to see him go down. I think a lot of guys out here are jealous. Whether they personally know him, they're fans, they're onlookers, what have you. I think they're jealous because of the position that he has. Okay? The money, the attention, whatever. And, they like to see him taken down because they're not there, right? And, I just think that some of it is they are looking at and comparing to, like I said in my previous video, other people who are public figures and their situations and how it was responded to and whatever actions that may or may not have been taken against them or demanded of them and all that kind of stuff. And I just think it's crazy. I don't understand why people compare themselves to others. I don't understand why people compare others. Okay, if you go to the store, you want to buy an apple, you might pick up an apple. You might look at some other apples. You might pick up another apple, have an apple in one hand, an apple in the other hand. And you might say, what would make me want to buy the apple in my left hand over the apple in my right hand? I could see you comparing that fruit. What's ripe? What's rotten? Is the skin too soft? Do I think it's going to be sweet? Or would I prefer tart? I can see comparison and things like that. But when you compare different situations to each other, it's absolutely ridiculous. And I think it shows a whole lot of insecurity. And it's sad to see all these men out here, or males that supposed to be men, whining about what they said and what they didn't do. And what's the punishment gonna be?
Pose repercussions.
Yeah, well, I mean, what should the repercussions be? You tell me. I take 30 days off. How does that hurt me? I mean, I told you guys when we were going through COVID could last 10 years. I could set it out and, you know what I mean? What would be the problem? It's much like COVID, actually. Me leaving hurts the company, hurts my employees, hurts the fighters.
Okay.
Doesn't hurt me.
Now, badass. First of all, he is definitely a boss, in my opinion. And he is letting you guys know whether you agree or not. I'm pretty sure he is speaking from a perspective of actually having that position, right? So there's a lot of things that y'all don't even know. Okay? So when that man says him leaving will hurt, the business, it will hurt his fighters, I don't think it's all ego. I think he truly believes that, and I think that it's a good possibility that that's probably true. Okay, don't nobody else have that position that he has. He has that position that he has. So clearly he has it for a reason, right? And you don't see a whole bunch of people who may have decision making and whether or not he stays or goes coming forth and saying, yeah, we're thinking about it, or we're talking about it, or matter of fact, Dana, we're going to have to put him to the side for a while, or we're going to replace him. You don't see nobody jumping up to say that. Okay, everybody has superiors. Everybody has people over them that can shake them down. You don't see nobody saying that. So clearly the man has some value, right? Okay, so y'all can get mad about that. Okay, because I know you are. And then people like Ariel Helwani he gets to punish himself, and nowhere in life is that a thing, or has ever been. Excuse me, sir, you got to be kidding me. Because I know plenty of people, if they want to be honest, have at one point in their life had authority figure, parent, aunt, grandma, grandpa, teacher, coach, somebody says, okay, so what do you think your punishment should be? Not necessarily saying that they took that advice in deciding what they were going to ultimately make your punishment, but that has been a situation. Is to teach you to think. It's to teach you to. I see it in interrogations. If whomever killed this person, since you're saying you didn't do it, whomever did it, what do you think their punishment should be? That's used in interrogations a lot to see how this person is going to respond for a whole bunch of different psychological reasons that we're not going to get into. The point is, it's not unheard of that it is used. You can watch The Cosby Show. They did that with Theo and them all the time. So what do you think your punishment should be? Okay? All right. So, Ariel, you lose on that one, sir.
I could have left in 2016. You know what I mean? I don't know. Do I need to reflect? No, I don't need to reflect. The next morning when I woke up, you know what I mean? I've been against this. I've owned this. I'm telling you that I'm wrong. And, but listen, I mean, we've had plenty of discussions internally with Ari, ESPN. Nobody's happy. Nobody's happy about this, you know? Neither am I. But it happened. And I have to deal with it. And what is my punishment? Here's my punishment. I got to walk around for however long I live. Is it 10.4 years or is it another 25 years? And I got to, this is how I'm labeled now. My other punishment.
Now, listen, guys. Now, you can't do nothing but respect this as well. Whether you get in your feelings and get emotional, which is kind of sad to see that in males, you know, because we're just looking at life lessons and what is and what's more logical, not your filthy emotions, okay? But this man is saying to you guys that what is it that you can do that's greater? Sometimes life just automatically dishes out its own consequences, if you want to call it punishment, but there is a result for everything. It does not ever come without some sort of a result. Doesn't always need unnecessary human force or interference. And he is telling you that for the rest of his life, okay, no matter what he does from this point on, when you talk about Dana, whatever you bring up, you're definitely going to be at least thinking about the fact that he was caught on camera laying hands on his wife. He's never going to get to escape that, and it's not going to totally be forgotten. It's also out on the internet, and that's going nowhere.
Is that, you know, I'm sure a lot of people, whether it be media, fighters, friends, acquaintances who had respect for me might not have respect for me now. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm going to have to deal with for the rest of my life that are way more of a punishment than what? I take a 30-day, 60-day absence? That's not a punishment to me. The punishment is that I did it, and now I have to deal with it. And more importantly, you guys know how I feel about other people's opinions of me. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I know a lot of you. I don't know what you do when you go home. I don't know what you're into. Nobody knows you better than your kids do, okay? My oldest is almost 22. So for 22 years, he's grown up in a house with me and my wife and the rest of our family. They hear and see everything. They know everything, you know? So whatever perceptions people might have about you, nobody knows better than your kids. And as long as my kids know exactly who I am, they know exactly who their mother is, and that's what's important to us. You know, this is a personal family matter.
It is.
That played out in public.
Yeah.
And, you know, our biggest focus was our kids. You want to talk about people being disappointed. Who's going to be more disappointed than your kids are? And, you know, that's what we've really been focusing on. I mean, as far as her and I go, we both apologized. We apologized to our kids and, you know, trying to move forward.
Is there anything moving forward?
Now, he's also going to state that he has a son. His older son is not happy with either one of them. Okay. And I think that's deep. That's deep. See, you guys aren't considering all of these things, because regardless of how you feel about Dana, okay, regardless about whether we're pleased or not pleased with his wife for this situation, at the end of the day, he is correct. This is a personal family matter. We just happen to be kind of eavesdropping in on it, but this is something that's going to affect his family forever. This is something that the real repercussions comes within the family ties at the end of the day. And I think it's very important that he is saying, and he will say, about his child being not happy with either one of them. He didn't say just him, either one of them. Because we know for a fact the wife struck first. Okay, she made that decision. She set it off. I think it's also important that he's saying his children know them better than anybody. Now, let's go back to the mama, his mama, okay? Because she has done plenty of books. Well, at least 2 books. But she's done plenty of interviews. She's talked about Dana in ways that I think is just deplorable, disrespectful, regardless of how she feels. She didn't have no business gossiping about this man, putting his tea out there like that as his mother. I think that's very vindictive and everything. However, regardless of what people want to say that Dana's mom said about him, and you can just look her up, you can see what she's saying about him. You can get her book and see what she's saying about him. She speaks. Okay, she say they fight. Now, if you get in an argument with somebody, all right, or you guys aren't agreeing, so you're not speaking right now. Some people like to say, "Oh, we're fighting." Okay, man, my wife had a fight. That doesn't mean you boxed her up and she boxed you up. You go to work the next day, you be like, man, me and my wife had this big fight last night. The guy isn't gonna automatically look at you and say, man, you beat your wife up, you put your hands on her. They're not assuming that. They're assuming that it was an argument, a disagreement that turned into, an argument. On the surface level, having a fight means you guys had a pretty bad disagreement. And it didn't necessarily get settled right away, or it kind of, went on for a bit. It wasn't easy to kind of work it out. And you may still be kind of needing to work it out. You may still be at odds with each other. But until you say, man, she ended up hit me and I hit her. Until you literally say somebody put their hands on each other, then you're not generally talking about a physical altercation. Now, if you go to school and say, I had a fight with Jimmy, we fought. Everybody knows that at school, you don't say fight. You say, man, he was talking smack. He was arguing. We was arguing. You'll say something like that. But when you say fight, you really mean fight, So we're not slow. Now, this woman did say, Dana's mom, right, that they fight a lot, right? Okay, that's probably disagreements and arguing. Now, when she goes forward to talk about Dana and put his tea out there, she paints him as a womanizer. She says he is worse. He put Tiger Woods to shame. And then she get the blah, blah, blah. She naming names. She dropping names, situations, all that. Okay, I'm not saying I believe her or it's true. However, this is mom. This is what she said. So, because some people I saw, like Professor Black Truth, use the mother's testimony as to say, oh, Dana, because this is the same guy that say Dana beats his wife. In fact, he's the only person I can say I heard and still hear saying Dana beat his wife. He beat his wife. I think the whole world can say we did not stand there and watch Dana beat his wife. Okay, we did not. But I also personally want to state that Dana putting his hands on his wife does not come without she smacked him first. Okay, because it just, the sentence doesn't go. It just doesn't go. Did you say English? Okay, the sentence doesn't go like that. Okay, what Dana did is a result of, so it doesn't start there. Okay, you could end the sentence with that. All right, cool. Now, Dana's mom, okay, she tells, and this is a crazy, see, this is how I know y'all doing this out your feelings, all right? And you've been a bunch of wusses, and again, showing the world that a lot of the male population, especially ones that are willing to come out here and speak publicly on platforms, is getting, y'all need to go to an HRT clinic and get them hormones checked. Make sure they need some balancing. You need to eliminate some of that estrogen, maybe boost that test. I don't know. You might even need a little Anavar for a little while. I'm not suggesting steroids or anything, but hormone replacement therapy. Just maybe a little adjustment, because we know as you get older that that your test goes down, and when you start losing your test, that's your manhood, right? Okay, we know hormones control and all that kind of stuff, right? They dictate, right? Because women have more estrogen than men and less testosterone, and it's vice versa for men, because those specific hormones are what really brings forth the manly side of man, right? And the estrogen brings forth the woman side of man in more ways than just mood, attitude. It's your functions, your hair growth, the size of your your boobies, and your okay. Do your research. You might need, listen, if you don't know what your hormone levels are, then I'm telling you, as someone who is a fitness instructor, someone who is heavy into fitness in all kind of ways, all right? And I love any athletic sport, all the way up to bodybuilding, MMA, bloodshed, boxing, all that. I'm telling you, if you don't know your hormone levels, you don't know anything in life. You don't know nothing about yourself. You can keep being out here trying to work this job or build this career, or you think you know what type of person you want to be in life. You don't know nothing, because you're not in control of yourself, or you can't regulate yourself, and you don't even understand why your body or your mind does anything that it does. Okay? You have no clue. You could go to your physician and your dentist, your eye doctor all day, and let them diagnose you and tell you all this and give you all that. But if you yourself don't know what your hormone levels are, you have no control over your life. You have no control over your health, your longevity, your body. You don't know what you're doing. And if I were you, and I didn't know what my hormone levels were, I wouldn't trust any decision I make outside of going to a place that I can trust and getting my hormones checked. Because you don't know what's making you do what. Talk like you do, act like you do, walk like you do. Okay. All right. Make these decisions that you're making. Because I'm telling you, y'all males looking kind of funny out here. All right. You looking like some whiny little bitches. Okay. You really are. When what I would expect from a lot of men is, okay, I respect you guys telling Dana or whomever else and saying, we don't agree at all. No man should put their hands on a woman for any reason. That I've heard that from a lot of men. I can't argue that with a man, even though I have a slight difference of opinion. That's just my perspective. But when it comes to man rules and man talk, if that's where y'all stand, I respect it. Because, hey, it's better for us. It's safer for us. That means, in general, regardless of how crazy we get with our crazy hormones, right? We are in less fear of a man actually, knocking us the F out. So it's really bad. As a woman, that's really make a safer world for me if that rule is kind of been put out there. However, like I said, I don't ever think that it is okay for anybody, just because you're sex or whatever, unless you're a toddler. And even then, you're going to tell a baby or a toddler in a language that they understand, no, it is not okay what you're doing. You cannot hit me. You're going to stop them. You are going to get stern with them, and you are going to let them know. And guess what? If they continue, you're going to have to amp it up. until they understand, oh, I can't take my rattle and knock you upside the head. I can't smack you in your face and laugh. Okay? You have to teach them that, because that is basic human rights. Every man has a right to not be smacked in his face, especially in public, especially by the woman who's supposed to respect him over any woman, or person outside of his children, I guess, in the world, and do it in front of the world. All right? So if you go say that, no man should ever, under any circumstances, let's also be man enough to say what she did was not cool. It's not okay. You don't have to talk down on that man's wife, disrespectfully, in order to stress that. But I do not see males publicly really bringing home the fact that no woman should be able to slide with slapping a man in his face or hurting a man, putting your hands on a man. Just because she's a woman, he's a man, it doesn't make that okay. He could take it, a little slap. No. That's non-existent in my opinion. It's not about how much it hurt him physically. But you're not going to stay here and say it didn't bother him physically. It wasn't a massage. It didn't make him feel good. Okay? She wasn't rubbing his cheeks gently and lovingly. She was trying to inflict pain on the man. So how you going to tell me she didn't inflict pain? And I think this pain is deeper than that. And that's why I'm very disappointed that a lot of men aren't speaking on this. Because y'all think riding the hate Dana and go after Dana train, it makes you look better as a man. It makes you like it's popular, right? That's the stance that's popular. However, you guys know for a fact if a woman if your woman, okay, smack the crap out of you in public, you gonna feel all kinds of stuff. Because like he said, your children, everybody see this. Everybody see this. And you know what? I can say 30 years knowing each other plus 40 years. First of all, y'all don't even got that kind of time. Most of you guys in a relationship that you're still in. Okay? You don't. But I bet you if it was your girlfriend of 6 months, 2 months, a year, and she did that, you're not going to look at her the same. And you already know she don't respect you no more. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be the end of your relationship.
Can do in terms of, you just have such high profile position, right? Like in terms of advocacy. As you said, this is wrong, this is bad. Is there anything that you think this would be a great point to start to, a message against it, supportive domestic violence victims, anything along those lines?
Yeah, we've created a lot of awareness, this was, and that's not something that I'm trying to, but I've been married to this woman for 27 years. We've known each other for 40. We've been friends for 40 years. We've been married for 27 years, and like I said, anybody who's married knows being married is it's a job. It's something you got to work at every day. Her and I have been through some shit, but we're still together. We have 3 great kids, and, the biggest focus for us is our family. I guess it's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think about what it's like. I don't know. There's been a lot of awareness, and, I haven't hid from this thing. I haven't ran from it. I've taken it head on, and from day one, I don't know what else I could do. Sure, if I could help anybody else in this situation, I said it before, and now I'm saying it after I've done it. You don't ever do it. Don't defend me. Don't anybody defend me. There's no reason to even try to defend me. And I don't
boss. This is boss. Because basically what he's telling you guys, okay, and he's trying to lead you to the understanding of what it is that he is saying. And what he's saying is, don't try to put me on some kind of to-do list, and as a result of this, I'm speaking on it again. I'm clarifying. I don't condone it. All right. I'm standing up for my wife. I'm not going to talk about her. I'm not going to throw her under the bus. I'm the one who's going to face this. I'm the one. And, you got to respect that because, like he said, they've been together for a good long while and they have a family. And so what he's kind of, in my opinion, is also telling y'all, say what you want to say. But at the end of the day, my family is the only thing that ultimately matters to me. So if you want to keep on, eventually I might have a problem with y'all steady coming out this way and that way, right? About my family situation. At the end of the day, we spoke on it, y'all spoke on it, but I'm moving on. It's to move on from here. You don't require nothing of me because, if somebody want to talk, they need some help, they need some advice or whatever, I'm there for them. I'm there for my fighters. I still take the same stance. It's never okay. What I did was wrong, but for what I need to do is try to repair this going forward with my family. I'm not responsible for the world. Y'all just happen to be a witness to a private situation. At the end of the day, this man is saying, don't even try that mess with me. Now, you gonna have your whiners, okay? Your whiners. Oh, well, when blah 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 and blah blah blah, when they did da da da, they had this whole to-do list. They had to do da 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 da. Well, listen, guess what? Again, why are you comparing different situations, different people? Okay, different levels in life. All right, and this is what position they was put in. It was required of them by their bosses, their affiliates, the public, enough so that they may have to make a choice: give up everything or do it. And guess what happened? They made a choice accordingly. Okay, cool. That's their situation. All right. But that wasn't Dana's situation. Clearly it's not Dana's situation until his boss come out here and tell y'all differently. Okay? Then this is it right here. All right? He letting y'all know. He letting y'all know what it is. All right? And if you're not in a position and you don't have the cojones or whatever you want to call this to do what he doing in this situation, you can't get mad at him. You can't get mad at his boss. You can't get mad at ESPN, Monster Boss, whoever else that is associated with this man. Because that's not what you got going on in life. You can't do nothing but respect it. Okay? And if you feel like you wish that could be you wish you could move like that, put yourself in that position. Figure out how to get yourself in that position. Figure out how you and your crew, you and other males can come together and get yourself in that position. I could respect that. This is inspiration. Because at the end of the day, this is that man business. That's his family business. And he here right now to let y'all know, I'm not stepping down. I am who I am. I will be who I will be. We will continue to do our thing and prosper. Okay, none of this was cool, but I don't got nothing else for you that you feel like you might want out of this. You can milk it by talking and talking and talking, but you're not going to twist me up. You're not going to put me in any other position that I don't want to be in. All right, boss.
Any of our fighters in this position where they feel like they have to, unless they want to come out and say, he's an asshole, or whatever their feelings are about this. I'm all about free speech. So,
listen,
for me, Dana,
he putting it out there. If the guys want to say something, blah blah blah. Now y'all could do a million videos on why you feel like, yeah, he full of because he know they not gonna come out. Listen, would you? What do you think any of them have to gain by saying something either way it go? Okay, like he said. Everybody got personal business. And it ain't always pretty. And you know it. And a lot of y'all, some of the things that go on with your family business, and including some decisions that you probably have made. You don't want nobody really knowing all that. You don't want the whole world putting you on blast and trial and all that and judging that. You rather just say, hey. Okay? So if in my opinion, people want to come out and put down their opinion, then they need to bring their situation out front too. Hey.
Incredibly unfortunate timing, I guess, in terms of the launch of a slap league. I mean, do you think that's going to impact what happens with that, or is everything good to go? Or what?
There is no good or bad timing for what I did. You know what I mean? There's irony, very ironic, but there's no good or bad timing for what I did on New Year's Eve.
Dana, obviously, when something like this happens, you've got to take it day by day. I'm sure plans are changing about how you deal with it, but sitting here today, do you think, maybe I should have done this differently? Maybe I should have put out a statement?
Listen, before he answers that, because was it Ariel? Had something to say about his answer to this. Let me say something about the slap league. That's something I would like to do an in-depth video about, because this led me to finding out that, this really exists, even though I saw it. I thought it was more like a parody type thing. So apparently, and you guys can do your own research on that part. It sounds like Dana is going to be adding a more professional level, a section category of slap league to his. Listen, well, it's money, it's business, but at the end of the day, although we already talking about contact sports, slapping, I'm not sure I have the words right now that can express my thoughts and opinions on that. So, and that's separate from this specific situation. So like I said, maybe one day I'll really get into that, like in depth about that, because it's just crazy. But let's let him go.
Go to TMZ, is there anything you would have done differently?
I would have stayed home New Year's Eve. If I could go back and change anything, I'd have stayed home on New Year's Eve.
Yeah. So listen, Ariel, he was mad because Dana said you would have stayed home. That's what you would have changed. Listen, son, that's what that man decided to respond from his point of view, because you don't know their story. You don't know what happened that night. You don't know what led up to the situation. So him analyzing the entire thing, I'm pretty sure he felt like that was the night he probably would have been better off not even going. Okay? It makes sense to me because I can think deeper about it. And guess what? My personal feelings aren't in it. Because if you go back, Ariel Helwani, that's what I'm talking about, y'all. When he first started speaking, listen, he cried like a baby. Dana, remember when you did me like this? Remember my situation, Dana? Remember, and you did like this? It was kind of like, yeah, the tables turned now. Now I can rub you all over. Now, he is very upset and hurt, that it's not going quite the way he wanted to. Okay? So he's constantly going in, but hey, the male is going to get views, clicks, revenue off the videos he's doing. But sir, cut the whining shit out. Okay? Because it's really annoying. It's ridiculous. And we know that this is more personal. So why are you trying to make it seem like you have all these morals and values and whatnot? It's your reaction, your responses, the things that you're saying. It shows that it's personal for you. Because you're having hissy fits over every little thing, especially when you get mad because this man said he would have stayed home that night. If you feel like something different should have been said in that situation, then create that situation for yourself so you can have an opportunity to answer the question. And then you can say, if I would do anything differently, I would have walked away. I would have ran. I would have screamed, help, somebody call police. Or help me, my wife just slapped me. Or I would have just not touched her. I would have gave her a hug. Or I would have dropped to my knees and said, baby, please don't hit me no more. Listen, whatever your response would have been that you feel like is appropriate, then you can do that. But this is his response. And guess what? Guess what? At the end of the day, whether you like it or not, if Dana would have stayed home, we wouldn't have seen them in that particular place, him getting slapped and then responding. We wouldn't have seen that. I don't care however hypothetical situation you want to spin. He wouldn't have been there. Do you understand that? You do.
But no. I don't know. Do you think so?
I don't know, maybe an official statement, but if you said that in TMZ, it's the same words.
I did an interview on TMZ. I literally, what else was there to say?
No, I agree.
I mean, you could literally write an official statement from my TMZ
handling them
interview.
Boss, he handling them. Okay? This is a man that is securing his position. He's securing his stats, and he is apparently thinking for himself. Now, a lot of times when you see guys, they're in a hot seat for whatever, and they're being jumped on, their responses are very not so masculine, are they? Their responses are, oh, I gotta watch what I say. If I say the wrong thing, or if the reporters, they can take this and spin it any way they want. I don't want to get fired. I don't want to lose my money. I don't want to blah, blah, blah. Okay? But listen, this man is responding, in my opinion, like a man will respond. A man who is not afraid to stand on his square. There it is.
You mentioned it's a personal matter, and I respect that, but I'm curious, is everything okay with the family? Is it a process?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing nobody's asking about. Hey, are you guys okay? Is everything? We finished our family vacation and we came home. And yes, we're good. I mean, obviously, we're still dealing with, with the kids. My oldest isn't happy with us, you know what I mean? And it's I'm sure it's embarrassing for the kids, that this thing played out. And again, I can tell you this, and a lot of people will take it however they want, will believe or won't believe, but it's never happened before. It never, ever happened before. So obviously for my kids,
okay,
it's a big deal.
Now, you heard that part. Now, let his mother come out and say that she witnessed him beating on his wife, because she didn't say that. She didn't say that. And again, no, like the man said, nobody is asking him about his family, because they don't really care. They don't even care that the woman hit the man first. They just care about attacking Dana, trying to force him to do something, right? Or force him to be in a different position than they feel like he should be in, right? So the mother, Dana's mom, she clearly expressed that she think this guy is a piece of crap. She clearly expressed that, in her opinion, he dogs out women as far as, he sleep with them and he's married, and he sleep with them and he sleeps with many, and, all that type of stuff, right? But she has never said that he beats him. She never said he put his hands on them, on the women, in a violent way. She never said he beat his wife. But what she did say is that his wife beats him. Okay? He knew what he got himself into from the beginning. If it's accurate that his own mother said on their honeymoon. Listen, he telling you he knew her his whole life since they were children. On the honeymoon, the mama said she blacked out his eyes, both of them, and he almost potentially lost one of them. This is the night y'all got. You know what honeymoon means, okay? So the mother also did say, I guess that's the way he deals with it. Now, why would she specifically say that? Okay, let's just say, for an example, that the womanizing and cheating is true. I didn't do research. I don't have the evidence. So I'm not going to sit here and say, because people saying it, it's true, right? But let's just say it's true. Everything she said. about him and affairs and even sleeping with the sister. Listen, the mama was just, whoa. Honey, you and Dana, I don't think that's going to happen. You're going to have a great relationship after all that you've done. That is so low down and betrayal. I don't care what type of person you think he is. I could see if we did see him beating down his wife, and then the mother wants to come out and say, I'm mad about what he did. I don't like what my son did. And yes, he beats women. He beats him down. She ain't doing that still, y'all, mind you. But what she did say is, I don't like his wife. And she probably don't. She Dana girl now, not the mama, okay? And secondly, according to the mama, the wife beats on Dana. I don't care how you feel about what kind of male your son is being. You still don't want to see no woman just getting away with whooping on him and beating on him and stuff like that. That's your child. So when she says she don't like the woman, she don't care for the woman, she still said she does not like the fact that Dana disrespects their marriage. She said, if you're going to be in a marriage, be faithful. If you got to go out and deal with other women, get divorced. And she said the woman beats him, and maybe that's the way he deals with it. So one can assume that he subs to beatings because he know he hurt her. These are my assumptions, but I'm just trying to put some context to the fact that the mama pretty much laid it bare, y'all. She pretty much laid it bare at the end of the day. All right? He knows what he does. He knows what she does. That's their business. That's their marriage.
How tough was that conversation with them the day after and just in general?
I mean, just like we did, before the TMZ interview happened, we sent them the video and we got them on the phone, and we did the best we could.
Thanks, Dana. Hey, Dana. I was just wondering if you have reached out to any of the female fighters on the roster, especially the ones that have dealt with domestic violence.
See, this is all about, these are the things that we feel like he should be doing. Okay, so we gonna put it on him. We gonna say, did you at least do this? Did you at least do that? And also, they're saying it to let him know that that's what people expect him to do, whomever the people are. Why would he reach out to women who've been involved in domestic violence? First of all, do you think they want to hear from him right now? Because I'm pretty sure they might need to go see their therapist, because it might trigger something in them. Okay? And they might be at battles with how they're feeling towards him about this situation. Because at the end of the day, regardless of whether the woman hit him first or not, they did see him strike her back. So what makes you think that these women will want a phone call from this man as if it's going to comfort them some kind of way? It doesn't make any sense. And this is also assuming that he knows what every woman had been through. Why would you assume that? Did she publicly come out and say, I'm a victim of domestic violence and my man used to blah, 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 blah. Well, how do you assume he knows what these women that are involved in UFC been through as far as domestic violence? This is really silly, okay? Irresponsible, and it's all about control or the illusion of control, right? And it's just the same pattern of you guys feel like, okay, you did this, now you need to do this and that. Do you do that to yourself? I'm just asking a question. Okay? Do you think that this reporter, with anything that he does in his life that is wrong or immoral or legally wrong, whatever, do you think he goes out and try to reach out to people in his circle, city, town, that may have been a victim of the something that's in that same category as what he did wrong, and he try to what apologize to them, console them, mentor them? Make it make sense. Do you think he go out and do community service? Huh? Do you think he does a whole call up everybody and do a speech and say, well, I did a thing today. Okay. I did a thing. And I apologize, and I'm scum of the earth, and, however you condemn me, I'll accept it. Whatever you require me. Do you think people do that with every mistake they make or every action, or are they supposed to learn from it, right? Try to advance from it. If amends need to be made, fine. But also strive to become a better version of yourself than you were when it happened, than you were the day before. These are the things that are best to be focused on, not constantly dwelling on and making such big, ridiculous deals out of everything that happens when this world is in a bigger portion of turmoil than the levels that this situation is. Okay? Because first of all, if we're not even going to start with his wife hitting him first, and this is my stance. After listening to this, it's clear that this is where this man is at with it. I'm at peace with that. And he also, I hear him pretty loud and clear. He's defending his family and he's protecting his family, including his wife, including the woman that initiated this, right? So I've spoken how I feel about it. I've expressed the fact that it's ridiculous that nobody is, I don't want to say I want you guys to comfort her, but to stress the fact that we need to look at this situation a little bit differently, because everything is situational and she struck him first, and that is never okay. You can get into that as a acknowledgement and a teaching session without literally bashing this woman. But like I said, as far as I'm concerned, this chapter is closed, baby. All right, it's closed.
I was just wondering if you had reached
out. I haven't reached out to any of the fighters. This is my thing.
Right on.
This is my thing between me and my family.
Boss.
And whether you're a media member, a fighter, or whatever you are, you saw my interview.
Yep.
And that's my position on it. And
yep.
And you're hearing my position on it today.
Yep. Yep. I mean, think about it. You guys are asking him to cross lines that he technically shouldn't be trying to cross. It's very unprofessional. Imagine you at work and your boss gets involved in something where it's publicized or not, or you happen to overhear him, you walking up to bring some paperwork in, and he's yelling at his wife, "You fucking bitch, I hate you." What happened? She didn't cook steak. She said, "I'm not cooking, you're gonna eat cereal." I don't know what's happening. But you heard that, and he knows you heard it. Okay, so now he's supposed to reach out to everybody in the office that had been yelled at by their spouse. Like, how? First of all, how the heck would he know that? And that's a fine line for him to be. Listen, that ain't the nature of your relationship. It's professional. Okay? You got to be careful as someone's boss trying to speak to them about personal issues, unless it, directly affects their work performance. And even then, there's a whole legal jargon written up about how that is to be dealt with. So cut it out. We're going to teach the youth that this is how you're supposed to move. No, that man don't have no business calling up no women in the UFC and talking to them like we're gonna patronize them as if we're assuming that they've all had a man slap them or whatever happened that we feel like he may have done to his wife on that night. So cut it out. Just stop.
Dana, thanks for coming out. Obviously, both sides carried a little bit of fault, but I thank you for coming out here, and seems like you're taking a lot of the blame. You don't want people to defend you. What do you say to the people that are wanting to put the blame on your wife, that your wife started this, and that was ramifications of her actions?
No, there's only one side of this. It's my side. There's never a reason or an excuse for what happened on New Year's Eve to ever happen, period. And like I said, I'm 53. I'll be 54 this summer. Never done it. I mean, never put my hands on a woman in my life other than my sister when we used to try to kill each other when we were little.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Listen. I think if you don't respect what that man just said, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, but I do. It does bring me concern for your perspective on life, because first of all, he said a whole lot right there. Okay, he said a whole, and that was boss as hell, because this man is telling you, okay, the reporter is saying, there are some people saying your wife, but she's responsible, so what you got to say about it. At the end of the day, he not getting ready to put his wife out there. He not getting ready to throw her under the bus, but he's not making excuses for her either. And I think it couldn't have been said no better, because what he is saying is that it's me. Y'all got me. I'm on the chopping block. I'm up here. I'm responding. You're not going to get no interview from her. You're not going to bother her. Okay? He's still a protector, as he should be, right? And he is saying, still. And notice the pause, because I think in that moment he was saying, what is the most responsible thing? I know what I want to say. I want to take out, but that's not realistic for him to say, I shouldn't do what I did. He could have said that. And I think he probably was going to say that, but he's like, that's not the responsible thing here. The responsible thing is to say, yes, it shouldn't have happened. That means neither one of them shouldn't have did what they did. That's what that means. Okay? So what else do y'all want? Because if you want me to do a video pointing out some things that really do affect us all, and they're pretty serious, and it's happening and it's coming our way and blah, 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 that we can really get at. I could do that. I could do that. I wouldn't have a problem doing that. But this time and energy y'all want to keep spending on this right here, you're not helping the younger generations learn nothing from this. But like that man said, he is in his 50s, and him and his wife have known each other for close to 40 years, and they've been married for close to 30 years. That right there, that he got age, that means experiences and wisdom, maturity, okay? He got time with this woman. He got a committed relationship. Regardless of the rumors, they still together, and they still have a family, and he's still going to protect his family. You can't, what you got that's trumping this right now, it's not your situation. You don't have anything that's trumping this. You don't.
But other than that, this is the first time that it's ever happened, and I guarantee you it will never happen again, and nobody should be defending me. There aren't two sides to this story. There's only my side.
Thanks, Dana.
Thanks.
Hey, Dana.
Yep.
See you left. Hey. In 2014, you said you don't bounce back from putting your hands on a woman. How do you bounce back from this as a leader in the UFC and at home as a husband and a father?
You don't. You don't bounce back from this. You don't ever bounce
back. Boss, and respect it. Okay? In fact, a lot of the things that I saw her from Dana previous to the situation that made me just be like, I don't know in depth the context of all of that stuff, and this is what sports. So, and it's MMA, it's UFC, it's like martial arts, fighting. A lot of that could have been theatrical, to sell, to promote, to gain interest of others, for all I know. But this right here, this is giving me a different look of this man, okay? As someone who has the ability to make an impression on society and make an impression on the younger generations, I definitely respect everything about what he is saying in this interview. Not only what he's saying, but how he is saying it. And this man is telling you, forget all that silly Karen-esque type ritualistic repetitive things that you guys tend to do when you feel like someone, you want to put him in a hot seat because it's clownish at best, in my opinion. You do it all the time. It's like it's automatic. It's expected. It's required. But where is the real change? Where is the real lessons? Where is the real growth? And I think what he is saying and how he is saying it that is the real positive impact. This is the real impact for lessons and growth. You can't expect him to create a scenario for a possible quote unquote bounce back. You don't bounce back from everything. It happened and it has impact that will last forever. It will forever affect people. That's just what it is. You cannot erase it or undo that. You have to go forward, living with that and dealing with it. And that is what he is saying. There's no sweeping it under the rug. There's no bounce. How do you bounce? Bounce back to what? A lot of events in life forever changes things. So there's no bounce. You can't bounce back to where it never happened. It happened. So that impact is just gonna exist. He can't bounce back to what? To try and, let's just be cool like it never happened. No. To even expect this man or ask this man, how do you bounce back? That's ridiculous. What are we telling you? No matter what happens, we can do something that'll say, okay, now I'm your favorite again. Now you like me again. We're going to pretend that didn't happen. We're going to erase it and we're going to look at you with the same sparkle or what have you and respect. No. Wear it. It will be worn. It will be worn. But the respect comes in where you say, I'm not making any excuses. I take full responsibility. I take all the blame. And these are some of the things that I will be trying to work towards moving forward on how to deal with it. And I'm also letting you know that there's limits on your access to the situation, because this is my family situation. He put them boundaries up, but he letting y'all know. And just because he is up in age, like in his 50s, it doesn't mean that he don't get to learn in life too. So this, at the end of the day, is for him to learn. Let's just say 100%. It's not. Matter of fact, it hasn't happened before. You know why? This is the first time we're talking about it. We don't have any other videos that we saw of this with them. This is the first time it's happened. Okay, this is the first time we got a video of Dana White's wife slapping him and him slapping her back and whatever else tidbits that we saw in the video. That's up for speculation. This is the first time it's happened. Okay, so he gets to learn from this, just like you don't stop learning until you are deceased. Being a public figure, being a man of age, having walked this earth for so long, all of that does not exempt you from lessons in life and having first-time experiences. It's how you deal with them that matters. So there's no you can't bounce back from everything. Once it's done, it's done. He can never undo that. And he's wearing that as a man. He's telling y'all he got to wear it as a man. That's a mark on his card. He's saying that personally. He's putting the mark on his card, not because of what y'all say, not because of how the public is going to look at it and talk about it and scrutinize it. He's saying it because as a man, he got to look at his friends like, yeah, that I did that. He got to look at his children and his family. Yeah, I did that. He got to look at his wife. Regardless of what you did, I still did that. Do y'all know what kind of card that is for a man? He's trying to tell y'all. But you're not listening. So if you want to say, Dana shouldn't have did this, Dana shouldn't have did this, forget how you feel. Forget what you say. Oh, he shouldn't be on the UFC and blah, blah, blah. No, forget, all that don't matter. They ain't got nothing to do with it. Talk about what it does for his man card. That's what's important.
From this, you know? for the rest of my life, like I said, however long that is, people are going to label me that. You know what I mean? I did it. I did it.
How do you repair things at home?
You don't bounce back from it. You wake up every day and try to be better than you were yesterday, and you make sure that never happens again.
That's a fact. Now, when this man say repair, he's doing that right now in this whole video. He's working on the repair techniques. Okay? For all the youth that's out here listening to this, forget social media and society's version of what repair is. Okay? It's not a flat tire. You can't just pump it up again and put the top back on and screw it back on and ride off into the sunset. The repairing, so to speak, is, look at it like therapy. Someone abused you as a child, molested you. It still happened, right? But you go to therapy and it starts there, right? And you talk about it and you get advice on how to cope with the effects of it. So guess what? His repair is starting right here in this particular conference, where he is taking full ownership as a man, and he's putting boundaries in, and he is still upholding the dignity of his family the best he can as a result of what happened. And he's still not letting his wife off the hook, but he's doing it in protection mode and with respect. And any real adult, not even just man, but any real grown, mature adult definitely understands what this man is saying. They definitely understand what this man is saying. He didn't let his wife off the hook. I respect that. But he's also still protecting his family, and that's what he should do. And he is being clear. It shouldn't have happened. That means him and her. He's not saying only I shouldn't have did it, but he is also saying I still, because he's responsible as a man. You have the biggest burden on you in society, because you are the one who is the adult. You're the one who's supposed to be in charge. You're the one who's supposed to have all the doggone testosterone. Not children, and definitely not a woman, right? We're the only other ones besides you. So ultimately, you will carry the burden, the biggest brunt of the responsibility for your choices and your actions. You can't just say as a man, well, you know, da-da-da-da. Although it still may be so, he can say, she did hit me first, because we all know it happened. But he still has to follow that up with, but I acted like this and I did that. You understand that estrogen, that woman-esque or children who haven't really come into maturity, their brain hasn't fully matured. They don't even understand truly what it means for somebody to really be deceased. They don't really truly understand the implications of what can be the consequences of something that they do. They can't think that deeply and that far. A woman, sometimes, a lot of times, her actions or decision making will be altered by them doggone hormones. Okay? So a child or a woman might say, well, you know, he did, it's because he blah, blah, blah. Right? We watched Waiting to Exhale. That man dogged her out, left her for a white woman, everything, embarrassed her. You know, she burned his stuff up. Everybody thought that was boss. Most women thought that was, hey, yeah, burn it. Why? Because we expected to make it rational. This is like, you can't just burn that man's stuff up because you're mad, but it's, a woman will make justifications for what they do. Because you think, well, son, why did you haul off and bust his black as eye? Well, you know, he hit me first and he called me stupid. A child would do that. A man, he can't do that. He can't do that, right? Okay.
Steps you have to take to make sure that you're never in that situation and that never happens again. That's what I need to do. And it's a fact. I mean, there's a couple things in life that you don't bounce back from, and this is one of them.
You hear that?
That's a fact.
What else do y'all need? What else? Listen, I'm not speaking to all the youth. I'm speaking to all the young men out here in this world. Trust me when I tell you, consider everything that this man has said in this interview. Forget all the little social media posts and videos and stuff that want to say, blah, blah, blah. These people are whining. Okay, they are whining. They are not truly trying to be genuine examples of a better tomorrow. Not at all. But it would benefit you to study this man's response here in this video, because this is definitely maturity.
Hi, Dana.
Hi.
Thank you for coming out. I know it can't be easy to face us all. I want to know if there's going to be any changes going forward with fighters that are in this similar situation. If there's any changes to procedures, or now that you've gone through it, if you're going to have any different take on that.
Well, I don't have a different take on it. I mean, it all depends on different situations. You know what I mean? But hopefully everybody's seen what's going on with me, and hopefully this never happens. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We all make mistakes, and all you can do is try to recover from the mistakes that you make in life. And I don't know. I'm sure it'll be on a case-by-case basis. I mean, we got a lot of people around here that make a lot of mistakes.
Thank you. And this is, I'm ready to be done, but I didn't get all the way to the end, so I'm glad I caught that part, because in the future, people are gonna try to compare anything that goes on that we may find out about, because again, this community here, they don't go blasting everything like some other community, and I respect that. Okay, we don't need to know all these people's business and personal life. We're here as, people who enjoy the sport, right? We're here for the entertainment and whatever we can get from it. We're not here to be about all this drama. As far as I'm concerned, if there's going to be drama, we need growth out of it. We need lessons out of it. And y'all don't do that with drama. Let me express something to you guys. Okay? What he is saying, please remember it. And if you don't, rewind it. Anytime you have any situation with any fighter and you want to say, well, he better handle them the same. No, listen, that's a child's mind. That is the child or the estrogen in you talking. That's what that is. Because a mature grown man is going to be like, well, this is a case-by-case basis. It's not the same person. It's not the same situation. It's not the same circumstances. So how it should be, we can have opinions all day too. Also, remember that. But these people have certain people in positions for a reason. For a reason. Okay? They are all going to make these decisions at the end of the day. And that's why situations are in place. If your child does something in school, they got a teacher, principal, probably a guidance counselor, coach, whomever. But there's a chain of command as far as how they don't go outside and go walk the neighborhoods and pull in people and say, well, this is what happened. What do you think we should do? Well, your opinion, we're going to let you decide how this child should be dealt with. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Your office. And so we need to start acting like, just because some of these people are public figures and we have some kind of investment in the situation, that we should be the ones controlling all that goes on. We don't even know all of the ins and outs to even be trying to put too much. But listen, let me compare something. And this is another reason why I stress to the youth that be careful about following in the ways of social media. It may get you clicks and likes and views, baby, but we're not improving society at all. The Liver King. If you don't know this story, please look into it. This is a man a male who body, he white, y'all. Okay? We know there's difference in genetics. White, and he got a body like a gorilla. When I say gorilla, I don't mean it. Actually, I do. Okay, let me try to explain what I mean. Because I'm very frank, and I know how y'all are. But let's try to think a little deeper. Okay, while being mature, because it is what it is. First of all, when I say he white, we know that there's a difference in genetics between white people and black or African or however you want to classify people. We know that. And we can do this all day. Okay. But we know that. So there's no argument there. Now, it is more likely for a black person to have better genetics when it comes to muscle and strength. Okay. Because we didn't enslave y'all and put y'all to work and say strong buck and all that. Okay, see? So listen, don't even try it with me. Don't try it with me. All right. So it is also a lot easier for blacks. I'm just gonna say blacks to bulk up, to become super duty muscular. However you guys who are in the fitness community, however you want to say it. Okay. Now let me give you an example of something. The king of bodybuilding is a black man. Ronnie Coleman, look him up. It is a unanimous decision across the board in fitness. No man will ever is a long time, right? Okay, cool. Will ever surpass him as king of the bodybuilding industry. You can go back and look, and so you can really understand why. But it's a lot of involved in that. Genetics, it's science, and blah, blah, blah. Before this man began taking anything, he was just a beast. Okay? And that's before. He is definitely the king. Nobody will ever beat him. That couldn't have been a white man. We have someone who is close. Jay Cutler. Go check him out. He's got pretty damn good genetics. White people, there are some white people that have pretty damn good genetics now. However, it is very uncommon for white men to be able to build massive gorilla King Kong bodies without substances. And even the ones that I'm talking about with good genetics, eventually they do take J-color steroids and other HRTs and stuff like that. Most everybody in sports and, other athletics are taking performance enhancing something. It's just, look up Ronnie Coleman. He was a beast. Okay. Natural, longer than most tend to be in competitions. And he just knew. He was a police officer. He did DARE conferences in schools. He pushed no drugs, no this, no that. He was very strong advocate for not doing steroids. But this man eventually understood and came to the knowledge of, and he was disappointed about it, but he understood, oh, I'm in bodybuilding competitions. Oh, listen, I wanted to be in bodybuilding competitions, y'all. I just knew it was no thing. Like for me in my head, like, okay, I'm going to do this. It ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Okay, I'm going to do it. Until I started really researching and I found out that if I'm going to do it, I'm going to take it too. I'm going to have to get on that mess. Because even women, we know that there's some that obviously are on it, but there's no sport. Listen, if you're professional, if you're competing, you own it. Okay, that's just you can do your own research, but it's more known now than it was. So it's not nobody out there that can challenge me on this, because I'm just stating a fact. That you have a natural division, and even that's questionable nowadays as to how much are they really, because even if we take a Tylenol, that it changes, it affects our performance. Lack of sleep affects you. If you drink alcohol, it's gonna, so there's always something that it's likely used to boost this, make this better, whatever. So nothing is 100% natural. There's just some things that are more, your results, effects can be more permanent, long term, or more damaging, more risky, and stuff. So, hey. Okay, I have to talk about that a little bit just to kind of get your mind into the fitness thing, the bodybuilding thing. Back to the Liver King. Liver King. Let me get y'all a video. Let me show y'all him. Hold on. Look at this guy here. Okay? He started doing videos on YouTube before he got this big. So you can see he was into fitness and what he looked like before, which is not this. But when I say he has a body like a gorilla, that's what I think of when I look at his body. Okay? You look at the size, the symmetry. I'm trying to explain to you guys why I'm saying this who aren't into bodybuilding. Okay? Let me get a picture of a gorilla. Okay, this is not exactly the best pose that I would like to demonstrate what I am saying, but this is pretty doggone good. He's facing forward and you can see his arms and his body. Look at the size of his arms. Look at the size of his chest. And yes, we know he got some belly, but let's pretend he got a six-pack. We know the strength of a gorilla. We know the muscle mass. Well, most people know that gorillas are super strong, right? And they're muscle, right? We know this. And they don't eat meat. Gorillas are super respected for being beasts. Look at them. Look at him. Just look at his body. Okay? So when I look at this guy, not his legs. He got thin legs. I don't know what's up with that. But from his waist up, that makes me think of gorilla. Okay? There are plenty of guys out here who would kill to get their junk just like this. Okay? From the waist up. I'm not going to say for my personal taste, it's could be considered perfect. But I'm telling you, as far as bodybuilding is concerned, y'all, listen, let me tell you something. This man got a body that could come all pretty much natural, almost for a lot of black men. He has size, volume, and he's vascular, but not too much. He has, he looks to be very lean with it. And then look at the abs. They even suspected that his abs were fake. I'm not laughing because I think it's likely not to be true because this can be done. Listen, anything can be fake. So it's still being debated on YouTube, even by the top, considered people who are considered to be the top analysts of what a person may or may not have done to their body or if they're natural or not. Okay, in the bodybuilding industry. This guy, hands down, is what's considered damn near impossible for a white guy without some years of serious hard work and some definite drug cocktails. Okay, now this man, he's called the Liver King because he promotes eating raw liver. Okay, he came out with these supplements. If you don't like to eat the liver, I can put him in a pill. He's supposed to be very, very rich, and he claims he was that before he came out as Liver King. Now he has been criticizing people over the internet. He says you're not ancestral if you don't. He has these 9 ancestral tenets, and he says you're supposed to work out hard and train hard and eat raw food, eat bull testicles and raw liver, and you're supposed to sleep with your butt in the air, facing the sun. Yeah, your booty hole getting baked by the sun. Just stuff like that. He's telling you that all these quote unquote natural things that are ancestral, because that's what our ancestors did. That's how he got like that. Okay. And he went around on shows looking people in the face saying, no, I don't do steroids. I promise you I don't. I'm natural. If you ain't natural, you're not. And so he had a word he called people. I can't remember what it was, but he was very insulting to people who didn't live like him. And if you cook your food and, you don't just be a beast. Now, for the people who are insulting people who believe this guy, he getting sued. I'm glad he's getting sued. Don't be insulting just even to your own intelligence, because people who are in the fitness community, who aren't even into bodybuilding, you be in fitness and still not get it, who aren't into bodybuilding, they don't know all that deeply about this stuff. They don't understand that, ain't no white man getting like this naturally. I don't care how much liver, and as someone with autoimmune, iron, blood problems, liver is if there's one food that I could take with me if I had just one choice. Yeah, I'm an advocate for liver, not raw, partially raw, but liver, yes, it's real good for your blood. It's good for you now. That's a powerhouse right there. But that liver didn't do it. Okay, that man played y'all so you can worship him and he can make that money. Okay, that's what he did. He did it on purpose. And as he was continuously asked, he swore no, you're a wuss if you ain't gonna get out here and get it out the mud like me. If you're not gonna build yourself up, like if you're not gonna be in the best shape you could possibly be in, he basically say you bitch ass niggas and you bitch ass females. Watch videos. The man was dogging people out and he was swearing up and down he was natural. Now he did a dumb thing. Okay, this is important. Stay with me. He did a dumb thing. This guy, he sent emails to people. Okay, two specifically people that you might not want to do that if you want to be the Liver King. If you want to come out here and say, buy my shit, do what I do. If you can't do it, you a punk. Look at this. Rah, rah, rah. I'm the best. He looked like a gorilla, but he let that go to his head. The gorilla don't even go around pounding his chest, do he? He just be chilling. People know what it is. When I say people, I mean people and other animals. They know what it is, especially silverback. And he chilling. Ain't nobody messing with him. He ain't gotta beat his chest. He don't have to do all that. But this is what this guy was doing, right? Okay. In the fitness community, we knew. But what's the good gonna do if you don't have proof? The audience ain't buying that because they don't know no better. And he was very adamant and insulting, right? So he wrote a guy who can help coach him and who can get him anything he needs, illegal or legal, to make his dreams come true. And he said, this is what I'm taking. This man said he was spending $11,000 and something dollars a month on drugs, baby, to build his body up. Okay. He also said, I want to be at a certain level in social media popularity by a certain time, because he want to be famous and he want to make that money. You want to hustle people. What I'm doing isn't working for me. My blood panel is just not good. Line me up, sir. Be my pusher man and get me in the right direction. Tell me, okay, don't take this amount of this, pair this with this at this time when you do this, and then fall back for a cycle, and then let's check your blood again. Expert. All right. Okay. Help me get where I need to be. I'm going to pay you. Okay. the guy took him on. Okay, but he also sent it to another guy. Now, this is where he really was dumb at. This is the guy that comes out, and when people say, is this person, it's called naughty or not. Naughty for all you natural, or all you on that shit. Okay, did you get your body like this? Are you naughty? Are you naughty? Just put it on YouTube, naughty or not, and you'll see all of the videos. People say, is this person natural? Is this person natural? Okay, so he sent it to a guy who he does this, baby. He can scientifically, he can give you a more definite answer without actually knowing the person and having their blood work and all that. He can pretty much give you a close, I think him and this is Derek from More Plates, More Dates. I think him and Greg Doucette are the two that can get you the closest just off their expertise. And they got the credentials to do that. Okay. So this guy, Liver King, sent that same email to Derek for More Plates, More Dates. Derek he's the one who, if you say naughty or not, you can watch other people. They can be comical and they can guess and all that. But we know they know this, but they don't know that. They don't know enough to be, well, okay, we got their opinion. Okay, so it's more people thinking that this person ain't naughty. Okay, now then you go to Greg. Now, if Greg say he's not naughty, and he gonna tell you why he don't think he's naughty, okay? And he gonna make you laugh. And you're going to say, okay, now Greg's saying he's not naughty, so we pretty sure that this person isn't naughty. Then you go to Derek with More Plates, More Dates. And he going to drop that science on you, okay, and do his scientific analysis. And if he says this person probably isn't naughty, you are, okay, then you're like, yeah, he ain't naughty. He ain't naughty. He ain't naughty. Okay, you the gavel is down, your mind is made up, you already know what it is. Liver King sent Derek for More Plates, More Dates an email saying, bro, I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get pumped. I'm trying to be in the best shape of everybody. And I want to, I want to grow. I want to hustle. I want to do my thing. Basically, that's what you're saying. Now, Derek says he didn't see the email a year and a half ago when he sent this. But by the way, nobody is getting in this kind of shape in that small amount of time, even with drugs, unless your genetics is, oh gosh. Okay, Ronnie Coleman, we gonna go back to Ronnie Coleman? You're gonna have to be on that level with genetics to even do all of that in that short amount of time. And that's likely gonna happen for a black person. This ain't about picking on no race. We just talking what it is. Nobody out there is going to disagree, who knows, right? So he didn't do this in just a year and a half or, 2 years working with himself and some raw liver and bull testicles and sunning. No. He taking them drugs, a lot of it. More than most athletics do who compete in bodybuilding. I'm surprised the man's still here, but it's a matter of time. Now, he got exposed. Whatever happened with him and his dealer, his pusher man hit Derek up. More Plates, More Dates, because that's the man to put you out there. Listen, y'all got to check his channel. He be putting them out there. Okay? And sometimes he get the paperwork on these people sometimes, So he got the paperwork on the Liver King and he exposed him. And then he found his email. Okay, you know how Google gets down. Once you get to playing around with somebody's name, Google gonna start showing you stuff that you ain't even know. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, but this is what you're talking about, right? Let me show you this. That's how Google does. All right, let me get some water. Mouth dry. Hold on. Now, so the Liver King is exposed, and he comes out and says, "Okay, yeah, I lied. Okay, I lied. I was on this just little stuff, and blah blah blah." He's still lying to y'all. right? We done got all the breakdown list of facts out his mouth and from his supplier, okay? Or I don't want to, but there's no secret. The man say he do what he do. He know, we know, about what all he was doing and is doing. And we'll have, listen, make no mistake about it. This guy can tell you he's going natural. He's still playing, y'all. Anybody will tell you he's not going natural. If he go natural, go look up his old YouTube videos. He gonna look like that. Maybe. Because he got a lot of damage. So at his age, he probably can't even look like that anymore if he stopped taking his drugs. He claimed he gonna go natural so he can show y'all that, it could be done off his supplements. Listen, he got y'all on lock because you fuck with social media so hard. You are within an illusion of what life is. Come out of that. This guy could never get this physique natural. He hard as a rock, thick and proportionate. And yes, he works hard, but guess what makes him be able to pull all that and do all that he does? The drugs, baby. The drugs, of course. Okay? If you take it and you're determined that you're going to get out there and put in work in, you got it. Them drugs going to help. I got the power. All right? You're going to be the Incredible Hulk. All right? There's a difference between David Banner and Incredible Hulk. Anger fueled him to become the Hulk. He can't become a Hulk without anger. And you ain't becoming no beast like this without them drugs, baby. Okay? So he played people who didn't know no better. And he's still trying to play you because he's saying, stick with me, like Jay-Z, with me, I got it. He's trying to tell y'all, if you rock with me, you do what I tell you, and you take my stuff, you do, just trust me. I'm going to go natural. I'm going to show y'all. Listen, even if he does wean off of this stuff, which, think of a heroin addict, okay? It's more likely for a heroin addict to go to recovery and function in society than it is for this dude to be in y'all face and cut out all this stuff. Okay? First of all, who knows if he'll survive? Secondly, he not going to show you him. He might not want to be here no more. I'm going to say it like that. And I'm justified in saying that because he's insecure, extremely insecure. That's just that's just looking and listening to him. But he has expressed that himself, and he targets the younger generation. Oh, I'm trying to help people who insecure. But get this, he called himself trying to help you have more confidence by lying to you and telling you that you can get like him if you take his stuff. And he's talking junk about the people who not looking like him, knowing that he got like this because he had $11,000 a month to spare on drugs. And you don't. So you're not getting like that, right? Okay. No. He not going natural, y'all. He go natural for real. You never gonna see this dude. Never. He gonna be like Professor Black Truth. You might hear his voice, but you'll never see him. So then you're gonna question whether or not the guy really is alive or dead, and somebody just trying to play you with a voiceover because you ain't never gonna see him. Now that we got all that out the way, a lot of people are covering for this man, and I do believe that the way society is now, this is their perception on life. They are saying he made a mistake. And that's sad. It's sad that we live in a society where you guys can call someone intentionally setting out to damage you and steal from you, give you false hopes and dreams, knowing that they're manipulating you and taking advantage of you. Playing you to your face, playing your intelligence by saying, I'm doing this because I'm trying to help people. and you say he made a mistake. He's still not owning up to what he truly has done. He's still lying and underplaying the stuff that he really was taking and is taking. He's lying now saying that he backing off of it. He ain't taking but so much. All right. I'm going to come check him in a month. I'm going to come check him in 2 months. And we should start seeing some differences in his mind. He not giving none of that up. I promise you. Okay? He not get. Look, the side effects alone. He want to keep all this right here to keep so he can mask the side effects. So you only pay attention to the side effects. We don't even know this dude like that. You can look at his old videos and you can say, I see, but we don't know him like that. So we don't even know half of the side effects he going through. Okay? He not getting ready to come no notch from where he is right now. And if he come off them drugs, he's not staying like this, y'all. He not. People are saying that he made a mistake. You see how off we are as a society with the way that we are viewing what's really going on, the way that we are assessing what's really going on, the way that we're responding to what's really going on? He didn't make a mistake. He intentionally did this. Now, on the other hand, because a lot of people tend to like Liver King, we got Dana. Somebody who I told y'all, I don't even like his butt. Okay? I also told you that has no bearing on my take on this situation. He handled and is handling his situation way better than the Liver King. And when I say better, I mean more properly. The way that is a great example for our society, especially for our youth. Because forget all y'all. Forget me. Forget us. It's not even about us, y'all. Because we are supposed to be. We have responsibilities. We are tools. We are supposed to be teaching and leading examples of how the future is supposed to roam this earth. And we're not doing a good job if we keep harping on this Dinah situation like it's not. What else you got? That man just showed you in a nutshell what it is on this. Okay? Now, you could do a video elaborating on the lessons in life from all that, right? Okay? And you could positively move on and enjoy the UFC or not enjoy the UFC. But you do not sit up here and excuse what the Liver King is doing and then say, oh, for the man, because there's one man that came out and he's suing the Liver King for the deception. You know how many people start eating bull testicles and raw liver and doing all this crazy stuff the Liver King was doing and buying all his supplements, thinking that they had a chance to be this because they don't know no better. This is not their expertise. This is not their field. They don't understand the genetics of your body. They don't understand the science of bodybuilding and sculpting your body and all that. There's people out here who think The Rock is natural because he says so. Or Hugh Jackman didn't take nothing in his 50s to become that Wolverine. And so on and so forth. People don't even think like that because they don't even understand. Back to the hormones. People don't even understand the simplicity of this fact. After a certain age of a man, your test, baby, them testicles, them balls, the testosterone, okay? We talking about man. That very one hormone that is the most responsible for that, all that rah man shit, your energy, all that, it starts to decline. That's just natural. It happens. Different levels, different men. It happens with men. And it affects all kinds of things about your manhood. Definitely your strength and your muscularity, sir. Okay? There is absolutely no natural way in the bloody pit of Hades that a man can be more of a beast in his 40s and 50s and so on than he could have ever been in his youth. The youth. That's why I so treasured the youth. Because that's your time, baby. That's when you can do it all. That's when your body is capable. And as a man, that begins to decline. That's just how nature does. All these athletes and celebrities you guys see, actors that are 40 and above, and they just beasting out here, that's because everybody busting out that juice. All right? That's the only way they are beasting. The Rock has been of a higher fat percentage for a man his entire life. We know him. He was a wrestler. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? He was a wrestler. So we know he's Samoan-ish, right? We know he was a little juicy little ham. The Rock ain't never really had no cuts. He had a high body fat percentage, right? And that just means we could see not so many muscles. His body fat percentage was higher than his muscle mass. Okay, meaning he wasn't cut like this right here. Okay, hold on. Here you go, baby. Y'all remember this? Thick. Whew, look at them thighs. Yes. But for me, someone who's into fitness, right? I see a higher body fat percentage that's generally preferred for a man if you're really into sculpting and bodybuilding. But he was a wrestler. He's thick. He's still muscular. He's still, y'all, because I think you guys say, well, The Rock was always, he was always thick. Okay? He was thick, baby. And this is him in his younger years. Not sculpted, but thick. Ooh, jeez. I'm sorry, but in your 50s, honey, you're going to be in the best shape of your life. You're going to have such lean mass. It's lean. Lower body fat percentage, mass, volume, muscle. Filled out muscle. That's okay. So look at the shoulders. Look at the abs. Never had. Listen. Somebody look at your neighbor. Okay? Look at your neighbor and say to them, no man is going to build his body and be muscular and shredded. Be mass and shredded in his 40s and his 50s in a way that he never was when he was younger. Nature don't work like that, baby. You understand me? So when I tell you these people lie to you, they lie to you and with a straight face and don't care about it at all and will double down on it. The Rock tells his audience that he doesn't take anything. That is impossible. Please just look it up. Do your research. Listen to some fitness experts. Okay? Impossible. That's not a mistake. They are purposefully choosing to deceive you. Dana White. This man got donkey of the day, but Charlamagne still ain't telling the truth about what he did to that young girl named Jessica. Actually, he did, right? He said, I went to the sex shop and I got some, what's that date rape drug called, y'all? I forgot. And I put it in her drink because, as far as I'm concerned, she was feeling me and, I was going to get that. I knew I was going to get it. I mean, I'm confident. She wanted me. She was going to give it up. She didn't say that, but I knew. So since I knew she was good, this is him pre-qualifying her and making he made a decision about what was going to happen based off of him wanting it to happen and him assuming it was going to happen. And he wanted to guarantee it was going to happen by drugging this girl and having sex with her. And she was already drunk, he said. And the next day, Yeah, because I knew she already wanted to do it. And he bragged about it on a podcast. He wrote about it in his book. Damage this girl. Please look the story up. Now, this is the guy, Charlemagne, did all that. He gave Dana Donkey of the Day. No, sir, no, ma'am. Because while you are being deceived by others and people are making passes and excuses for that, Joe Rogan, other people called out The Rock. They know he not natural. People in the fitness community, Joe Rogan, for y'all who don't know, he's fitness, he knows. Okay? He'll tell you. He not maintaining what he's doing natural. Okay? He can't. He's too old. He has different techniques and things he does. He talks about he refused to have the Liver King on his panel because he could not respect the lies. He knows about fitness and MMA. You got to look him up now. He does that. He kicks some butt. People who are into fitness and know the science of it, they know for a fact that these people are lying to you guys because you don't know any better. Dana is not hiding from any of this. He not making no excuse. He not saying, well, I was drunk and blah, blah, blah. Who she hit me first? He not, listen, I didn't expect him I didn't expect him to be this responsible for this situation, this manly about it. But yes, above all these situations I just described to you, he definitely will give my respect hands down for the way that he came in this situation. And there's no more that I need to say.